Yo, what up, everybody? Here we go. We're gonna switch over chill paint music. There we go. How is everybody doing today? Oh man, it's an early Sunday morning. We're gonna do some mini painting. We're gonna chill out and do some crafting here. So we've got our Lorcana cards to open up, and then I think we might start the day with one of our Gnolls. And then depending how far we get with it, I don't know how far we'll get with it, but I also want to try and get our orc riding a dire wolf. A little more work on it. Ah. But that's what we're doing today. It's gonna be very chill. We're gonna listen to some bardcore and do some painting. I'm just gonna relax. We're gonna start off our Sunday and kind of do a soft closeout to the weekend. How's that sound? But first thing, let's open up our Lorcana cards. Shimmering Skies is the set, which is set 5. Just came out a few weeks ago. We pulled a Enchanted Robin Hood on stream the other day. You guys got to see that. Our first Enchanted on stream. Let's see here. We've got a Healing Decanter. Retrosphere. Pay 2, banish this item, return chosen character. Item location with cost 3 or less player's hand. Got a Clarabelle. Break Free. Prince John. Happy. Arthur. The Library. Ed. We Know the Way. A Maribel. This is a legendary. Check out the finish on that. She's actually a little special of a legendary. You can't play this character unless you have 5 or more other characters in play, and she quests for 5. She is the highest quester, like, built on the card in Lorcana right now. Alright, and then we've got a foil Fix-It Felix Jr. There we go. So, the epic pull from this one be this Maribel. They've done something different with the legendaries in this set, is that they've done like an abolishment on like the character portion of the legendary card, so it's just got like a little extra flair. And I love it. But there we go. There's our pack for today. Excellent sauce. All right. Let's get into this. So I got some ideas for coloring that I want to do. Some ideas. So I think we might do maybe like a khaki. He's got like wrappings around him. It's kind of hard to tell, but I feel like this is like a wrapping around his middle that goes around. Kind of hard to like discern like what. Because like we have like the like picture to reference, but you can't really see like his underside too well. He's got like some like cloth wrappings around like his hands and his feet. Just fine. And he's got one that kind of goes like around his middle and then like like a skirt almost. It's not discernible armor like his counterpart, which we painted and gave away during our extra live stream. So this is the other that was in that pack. Of course, we've got some fur and his big axe. I gotta figure out like how. I think I might do like a deep gray for his skin, just like the next grade next to black. Do like maybe a camo cloak for the armor bits. And then, of course, we'll do brown for his fur and such. I think that might help us as well if we actually have a holder for it. It's also got like cloth, like skirt as well. The only fur he has is like his little faux hawk and then down his back. And then like around his face. And then I might do like bone spike lookings for the end here. Perhaps. I feel like we do the brown first, maybe, for the fur. Get that shaking up really good. Maybe start from the top, work our way down. All right. Let's get to it. Oh. All right. No, that's not quite yet. Touch carefully. and give him like some sideburns or something like that. Like a piece of hair on his forehead. Yeah. Think about this. Yeah, I feel like this is there's like something like right here, like around the shoulder, but I don't think that's fur. I think that's like part of the like shoulder armor that he's wearing. I do think I want to do khaki for that. Or not khaki, the camo cloak color for it. Kind of some of these hard to reach places. You think that's just like a we'll do khaki for that. Miko, what's wrong? Why you cry? Why you crying? Because mommy's not up yet. Yeah. Now, honey. Mommy's gotta sleep. Kept her up all night. I know. Yeah. Gonna have to get up soon. I know. Sunday morning, honey. It's sleeping morning. Alright, I think we got most of his hair here. Mostly. And we're gonna like come back in and like dry brush highlights onto it, but I want to make sure we have a good foundation to work with. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like I got really good around his face in the spots for it. Okay. Then, and I'm curious, so I want to see how the camo cloak does for it. Like the shoulder pads, so we're just gonna do that really quick. See if I like it or not, because then we can pivot. The one Ross says pivot. Okay, against the light gray, that actually looks pretty good, actually. Okay. So this is a speed paint that we're using for the camo green. And the nice thing about speed paints is they act as your base color, your wash, and your highlight all at once. So it's very thin. To get into all the little nooks and crannies that you're trying to quickly paint in an area. It doesn't take much. You want to make sure you get good coverage. And the paint does most of the work for you. I kind of got to determine like what this is. Is this part of the shoulder armor here, or is this something else? Might be. A little reference picture doesn't really like show us. But I like how this camo green speed paint is going over this light gray that we've done the primer. Actually looks like really good on it. Sometimes with the speed paints over like a primer, it just doesn't pop. Like there's a blue that we have that just is awful. And so I have to like put down like a different base coat for the speed paint to like actually like show the color that I want. So sometimes there are multiple steps to it when you're doing it. Just keep that in mind. Part of that is. I feel like that could kind of like wrap around to the chest here. Like a chest piece here. Let's do it, and then worst cases, we go back over it. We're like, no, we didn't like that. I think that's safe to say that that's like honestly, while you're painting it, like how you paint it determines what it is that the eye is gonna see, right? So the fact that I'm painting this like armor, it is now armor. Yeah, sure, sure. That's how that wraps around. We have deemed it so. Like, I think now that I'm kind of looking at it, we're gonna kind of like treat all of this. Let's skip for like the short. I do like the highlight for the hair. Because in worst cases, we have to go back, fix that. I like to do dry brushing as much as I can. It's my favorite technique. Doesn't take much. Biggest challenge is just being able to get the dry brush in the area that you need to do the dry brushing. I think we've got the highlights there. Go. Kind of give you here a little bit. Man, that's all you've gotten done, but it's progress. Nico, don't eat her blanket. Silly girl. Alright, which part next do we want to work on? Kind of go with the cat. If this does what I want. This is what I'm thinking is like wrapped around them. Off. And we'll probably do like a wash over this, I think. Got a couple of different options that we can try and just see what the effect is. Still relatively new to miniature painting. They have only been like miniature painting for like what, 6 months now. And when we say 6 months, it's like, well, it's not like I'm painting every day. Paint when I can. I've been doing miniatures when I can in the past 6 months. Absolutely enjoy it. It's become a very favorite hobby of mine currently. Something that I want to keep doing as long as I'm physically able to do it. You might be asking yourself, Wiggs, are you a D&D nerd? Why are you over here painting D&D miniatures? Or do you just like painting? My friend, I am a D&D nerd. Absolutely. I've classified myself as a forever DM with air quotes because while I am a forever DM, I've had 2 opportunities this year to get to be a player, which I am very excited about. I have a campaign that we do on Sunday nights based off of the show Willow. It's on Disney Plus for a little bit before they decided to take it off of Disney Plus, whatever reason. But it was fantastic. So we're all like doing like a continuation of the show, um, and each of us is like one of the characters. So I've really been enjoying that. I play a Borman, who I've classed as part rogue, part fighter, having some fun with the role playing with it. And then we I don't know if you guys are aware, but we're gonna be getting 5.5 edition, I think is what they're calling it. Uh, the player's handbook comes out here in September, and then we'll get the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster's Guide not long after. Probably somewhere in like November, I would imagine, be the time frame for it currently. Which, if you didn't know and you are a D&D nerd, for D&D Beyond, once the player's handbook comes out, we'll no longer have access to 5th edition songs and items on D&D Beyond, because they're changing all their categories to the new edition. So if you have primarily using D&D Beyond for your character cards and stuff like that, and you log in for a campaign, you might not have access to some of your stuff anymore. So the new stuff. Oh. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, I know you want to promote people to like use the new stuff, but forcing a person's hand into something of a monetary transaction never really goes well. So I foresee, pirating and stuff in the future. But I have an opportunity for the new. So I have a friend who is a DM also, and is wanting to run like a little fun once in a while campaign for us to like get acquainted with the newer stuff before we full launch campaigns of our own. I think that would be a lot of fun. This might also be like going on down. I really want to run. So I haven't ran a campaign in a little while. I had one for a little bit. We were doing kind of like this Cult of Lolith, which is a spider queen deity. I was getting the guys down into the underground and stuff. We were gonna fight some like really cool monsters. They were new players, and I wanted to like really take them through the monsters man for like their encounters and stuff like that. Hit all the highlights, while giving them an engaging story. And then life happened, as it does, and we just couldn't get together anymore. And I don't even think like one of the players was like a friend of a family member. I don't even think they like live in the state anymore. It's like if we wanted to like pick it back up, we would be down a person and they were their cleric. It's kind of hard to not have a cleric or a source of healing at all. So I will shelve the storyline. I might come back to it, find a way to weave it into a campaign again. Be like, oh, you stumbled across this here. How weird. Okay, let's pick up, guys. Like, yeah, this seems familiar. And be like, oh, does it? But I am very much. I will play online. Will absolutely play online, which is what our Sunday night games are. So we do it through Roll20. Which fun fact about Roll20? It is now a integrated activity on Discord. You can launch Roll20 within your chat, so like you can just get everybody together in Discord for voice, and then pull up Roll20 and play it all within Discord, which I think is very nice, especially if there's somebody who doesn't quite have fancy computer setups like a few of us. Like I have dual monitor and stuff like that, so it's not a big deal to have Discord and then 20 up. To launch it within Roll20 is really nice, very accessible. But I am very much I want to sit down at a table and have the painted minis on the table and the maps and all that stuff. So my latest idea that I've had in my head, something that I really want to run, just because I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I want to do a on the ocean campaign. And I want to kind of treat it almost like Sea of Thieves, where you have all these islands that you can go to, not too far from each other. And each island is just like its own adventure. And then take like some cues from like, Pirates of the Caribbean, where like an overarching villain kind of thing, little story there. And then it's just, all right, guys, you're on your boat. Where do you want to go? That's where we sail to. And then you might have some encounters while you're, off to the next island. A kraken appears, or a megalodon, or, a ghost ship, or something like that, which is very, Sea of Thieves esque. The inspiration there. And then some islands have a fun little mystery on it, and, some are friendly islands, some are not. I think that'd be a lot of fun. They're just, out treasure hunting for goodies. Which means, because I like doing tabletop adventures, sitting at a table, I got to get the boat. There's a boat miniature that you can buy for sea adventures. Like, I gotta get that. I gotta get it. I gotta paint it. Then, of course, all my little sea creatures I gotta paint. Like, that just brings me joy, you know? So, one of these Sundays, we'll be doing some of those said sea creatures. I have an octopus, a couple of merfolk, things like that. So, we'll definitely be doing the prep. Who knows when we'll actually get to play? But prep work is part of the fun, and it kind of helps you think about, your adventures and stuff like that. And if you're like, man, running a campaign and then, also having to like paint miniatures and stuff like that, that just seems like so much work. Why would somebody do that just for, it's your prerogative, it's what is your comfort level. And so like some folks, they just like have like little printed tokens. Like it's just like the little like image of what the monster is on like a little circle, so it fills the like spot of where they are on the map. It doesn't have to be any more involved than that. Or you could even just be like, here's like a little, you know, whatever. Like, okay, I'm gonna place this here. This is this monster. Like, okay, and then he moves over here and stuff like that. And then you just describe what they look like. You don't have to have like big fancy like painted miniatures or anything like that to be able to run a tabletop campaign. Honestly, all you need is your imagination and a few friends. All you need. And honestly, like sometimes you can like just go online and like find people to do online games. I know like Roll20, like you can post your games and like try and find people like fill slots and stuff like that. Splots. A lot of like game shops do like, newbie days. Be like, okay, you don't know how to play? Come join us and we'll teach you as we go. Come join us for like a very small adventure. We got you kind of thing. I always think it's really cool. There are opportunities out there. If it's something really of interest, you just gotta reach out. And your local game shop is a great jumping point. Be like, hey, I'm wanting to learn. It's something of interest of mine. They will get you in touch with somebody who's willing to teach. Guarantee you, there will be somebody willing to teach you. I kind of want to do the green for like this part too. Beauty of miniature painting. Like, you know what? I think that this is what this is. Just paint it that color. And then worst case is you don't like it. Paint over it. As Bob Ross says, no mistakes. Only happy. All right, so there's like teeth and bones and stuff. Belt. I feel like the belt part itself would be like leather. Sure, I'm hitting all any spots I might have missed now that I've painted a little bit more. And they did kind of a white, which I think I have like a gray. My hardened leather will do for the belts. Okay, well, the gray I have is a little dark, but I wonder if I do it over a white base, it won't be so bad. Possibly. Let's do the let's finish up the belt here. Do the hardened leather. So I got these fun like little paint cap skulls that just pop on, and then you just paint them the color, and then it kind of shows you the finish, what it looks like. So you kind of look at it and be like, yeah, that's the color I'm looking for. Really like it. Got them off Etsy. Kind of coming in between the bones and stuff here. kind of a little precision in this portion. I don't want to like mass paint the whole thing and go back over it, you know. In betweens here. But for the most part, these are like bones and stuff, so I think they'll look cool. Hitting the belts. All right, I'll have to go touch up a little bit with the khaki. That's all right. Let that dry. We'll come back and do like a second coat over here, over it here in a second. I think I go ahead and hit up the khaki again at this point. It's kind of dried some. Definitely touch up the spot I accidentally hit. Really just kind of like filling in, touching up places that we see that need touched up. Get an extra one. So, a little good kind of like pause point. So we're going to pause there. I'm going to throw up some clips and highlights of the channel. And then I will be right back. I'm going to let her out. I think they might need it. So, enjoy these clips and highlights, and just a moment. Okay.
Tubing. Let's get this incision made.
I bathe in the blood of the righteous. All unclean sin. My coming shall herald. I will clean the flesh and man for my own. 3 houses alms of hell. 2 beacons of glory of my house. 1 to usher tribulation.
Shit!
I have come.
Oh.
I don't want to be here anymore! Oh, Brittany's calling me! This is a terrible time! Honey, I'm busy! Ah!
Ah!
You have no idea what's happening. She does look so sleepy, doesn't she? Yeah, you want to go to your bed now?
X.
Nice. So I have plus 30%. No, I took damage. Son of a bitch. What hit me? We'll go left. Ah, shit. If they has jolt.
Thank you. Drops me.
Fuck.
Parted your hair.
It gets me there. I might have gotten my challenge done though.
Where are they? Ah! Alright. Guys, this is gonna be funny. Bert missed it! Oh my god, that was pretty fucking funny! Alright, guys, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed those clips and highlights. I let the girls out. They definitely were desperate there, so. We're gonna go let Miko wake up Britt. So, alright. Back to our Gnoll here. Think. Keep working on the belts. So I want to hit the bones with white, and then I have this ballad bone go over it. So, trying to give it a finish. Radar coming in doing an extra life dono. Thank you so much, buddy. Absolutely get you written down in the book for extra life donos. For those of you who don't know, you are more than welcome to use your channel points to redeem for extra life. Where is mine? We're on a new page already. Here we go. Got life. I write them down so that at the end of the year, I can tell you guys how much we raised just from watching the stream. Go. Now, thank you so much, Radar. Appreciate you. 1,000 channel points for $1 donation. You can earn those just by lurking. You don't even have to interact in chat. You get them faster if you interact with chat and things like that. But just by lurking, you're still getting Treatos. And you can use those Treatos to make a donation to Extra Life, which is our children's hospital here. Oh, I think it's really awesome of you guys to be so supportive. What's up, Cranky? How are you doing this morning? I think we need to go fine tooth here. How are you? Hopefully you've gotten some relaxation, some rest. I know you go back to work tomorrow, right? Brush doesn't seem to be. New mattress testing may not get up. Hey, that's fair. You gotta test that new mattress. Which makes it sound like, you know, it's a good mattress. Is that right? Doing all the mattress things for you. Too heavy. Too heavy-handed. What's the fine details that I mess up the most? It'll be okay. I think once we hit it with the bone. My bed is now 4 feet tall, which I'll have to fix at some point. 4 freaking feet tall? You need like a ladder. The hell do you get in your bed? With great care, I imagine. Yeah, that sounds like a ladder situation right there. 4 freaking feet tall. I feel like there's little like fastings around the teeth here. It would make sense to kind of like hold them to the belt. So I gotta figure out, do we want to use leather for that part? Possibly. Kind of like some little leather strappings. Need to replace the bed frame, but that's next year's problem. Fair enough. Fair enough. For the longest time, I just had my mattress on the floor. I only think it was like once I got like my first like place that I ever got a bed frame. And even then, like half the time I'd fall asleep on my couch. I know, you're like, I'm sorry, what? Your couch? Blasphemy? Give Acre all that grief and you're over there sleeping on your couch too? Be like, yeah, back in my day. This is why I yell at him now, because I know exactly what's going to happen to his back here soon. Alright. Hit that with that bone. See how that looks. I need to also do... Well, we've got the white out. Need to also do the... We got with the bone color for the Gnolls tunic. That's actually like a khaki for it. And we're going to do like a wash over it to kind of alternate the coloring. But it seemed like he was kind of like wrapped in like a cloth there. It was kind of the idea. The artwork that we keep, like the backing, doesn't like really show what it is exactly. So we're kind of just taking some artistic liberties with it. So we're gonna hit it with the wash, and I think that'll change the effects for it much better. You fall asleep on the couch all the time, and then drag your ass to bed. Oh man. So I used to be a food and beverage manager for a hotel. I did it for a very short time. Like, so much so that it's just, like, barely long enough to be considered enough for my resume. I think I did it for, like, 4 to 6 months, somewhere in that time frame. because I was the food and beverage manager, I had to be there for both the morning for breakfast as well as dinner, the dinner shift. I was there all the freaking time. And I was salary. So, you know, that wasn't like really good for, you know, life. But I would just like fall asleep on the couch. I'd come home, fall asleep on the couch so I can get some sleep, and then just get up and have to like head right back for the next shift. They wouldn't hire any adults for the dinner shift. It was all teenagers, and the hotel would serve alcohol, so you have to have an adult there. So as the salaried manager, I'd have to be there for the evening shift. Well, they would also require me to be there for breakfast because that's when the truck would arrive. And the manager has to do an inventory check from the truck. So I was there all the fucking time. I absolutely hated it. It's like there's no wonder you guys can't keep anybody for this position. They're like, you'll be perfect for it, you know? You're a young adult, you have, you know, no kids. You're not, you know, in a relationship, although I was. They didn't know that because he was deployed at the time. So I was like never seen with anybody, you know, but still. And I just finally got to the point where I was like, nah, I'm going back to my front desk job. Take me back, old boss, please. I see the error of my ways. Although, granted, they thought I'd be like a good fit for it too. They'd be like, yeah, you can do it. And I was just like, I can, but gosh, like, this is absolutely just killing me. And when I explained to my old boss, I was like, this is my work-life balance. I'm home long enough to nap, and then I'm back at the hotel for this, and this. And even he was like, okay, that's explains why they can't keep anybody. That's not sustainable. Like, I know, like, the money wasn't even like really worth it. But yeah, those were my big couch sleeping days. Awful job. Bet you hated it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I hated it. The training for it wasn't that great either. They just kind of threw you to the wolves. Like, you know what? I like the like managerial part of it. Like, I like doing the menu planning for the week, and you know, doing some fun stuff there because I like, you know, it was a way to express, you know, creativity and stuff like that. You know, and putting things together and stuff. You know, I like taking care of people. That's a great way to do it with food and drinks. These are people that are traveling and they're gone for long bits of time. We were like a long stay. We very rarely had like short, like one night only type guests, like where we were, like the style of our hotel and stuff like that. So like you've got people who are like away for long bits of time, you know, things like that. Like we would do like grocery, like we had people who would stay with us. We would do grocery orders for them. You need groceries? Yeah, just leave us a list and we'll go get the stuff for you. Not a problem. But like it was just not, as a person, not a good job. They needed to structure it better. And even after I left, I don't think they got like an actual like full-time manager for their food and beverage for a while. Like their assistant manager was doing it for the longest. Which I felt bad for her. Like I knew her very well. Like my mom had worked with her quite a bit. And she was like a mom with a newborn. So when I left, like she had to take over. But I was like, you know what? That's kind of on y'all also. I'm not gonna be like overly guilty about this. I'm gonna take care of myself. They'd hire two shift supervisors exactly, or at least an adult for the night shift. Like I can absolutely understand you. Yeah, you needed the manager there in the morning because you're getting the getting the alcohol delivered, you're getting the food delivered. You want to make sure the inventory is right, everything was delivered right, everything's set up right. You absolutely want somebody there in the morning who is in charge, right? So I get, and I was okay with the morning hours. That was fine. The fact that they required me to be there in the evening time because I was the only one old enough for the alcohol, it's like you needed an adult for the night shift. You needed to find and just progressively seek out a nighttime employee. And it was only for like a couple of hours. It's not like we're talking like an 8-hour shift serving alcohol. Like the dinner time was like 2 hours. If I remember right, it was like 5 to 7 or something like that. So they wouldn't even have to be there forever, you know? Oh, I didn't do the arms. What am I missing here? The arms. The arms is what I'm missing. But yeah. Back in my youth where I didn't like know better, I didn't advocate for myself like I should have. Like if it was me now, I'd be like, nah, we're hiring somebody. Like I also like just probably wouldn't even if it was now, I was like, I don't think I'd go do that. I like being home. Something like that, somebody calls out because you got kids working, they're gonna call out. They don't want to work either. They just got a job to appease their parents, kind of thing. Like at that point, you're like, well, shit, they're gonna call out, then I have to go in. Hit some spots I shouldn't hit there. That's alright. We can go back and like do a touch. I have to tell myself that because I'm very much a perfectionist. So if it doesn't look right, I sometimes just want to like rage and like it's garbage and like throw it away. But then I, try and channel my like inner Bob Ross and be like, you know what? It'll work out just fine. And it will. We'll go back up. We'll touch up those spots. And it'll be fine. But this might also be another. We got 30 minutes before I have to call it. Might also be another one where finish up off stream and show it off in the Discord. You do miss shift work in customer service? Oh man. I don't know. Customer service is like that's kind of like what I do right now. Sometimes it's just like, man, the way people think they can talk to other people. Like I get it, you're inconvenienced, but that is not a, valid enough reason for you to speak to me the way that you are. You called me for help. That's always the kicker. Like, you've called me for help, and this is how you're gonna speak to me. Not really inclined to help you currently. Like, oh no, that sucks for you. Call me back when you've calmed down. Call me back when you've remembered your manners that your mother taught you. Unless your mother was a Karen. Probably didn't teach. Be careful. Gotta be careful with that sometimes. Oh, this is what my mother taught you. Well, might explain some hardships then. Please keep the people away from me. Yeah? Everyone just be polite. Exactly. Not that hard. Like, please help me with this. Thank you for doing the best that you can. That fucking simple. But so many people forget. And I can tell you, like, I've done enough calls now to, like, give you, like, an accurate age demographic of everybody that I talk to. People that sound like they're within my age range and younger, very polite, very respectful, very please help me out with this. You know, I don't know what I did wrong. Can you explain this to me? You know, help me out. Right? It's the elderly that are the assholes. Very much you fucked this up, fix it kind of thing. And then, you know, you're sitting there going, "Sir, you haven't paid your bill in like 60 days. That's why you don't have service. How dare you call me poor? I pay my bills. Sir, if your bill was paid, you would have internet right now." Letting you know that. Are you calling me broke? I'm not calling you broke. I'm just saying you've not paid your bill, and that's why you don't have internet. How dare you? I'm gonna speak to the manager. Be like, okay, they're gonna tell you to pay your bill. I don't think I don't think they're gonna tell you anything differently, but sure, have at it. Then you're like, hey boss, so got an angry dude. He hasn't paid his bill. He says we've called him broke and poor because he hasn't paid his bill. Yeah. And then it always turns into, well, sir, you haven't paid your bill. Well, and then it turns into, you know, your services never work right for me. I demand compensation because nothing ever works right. Like, well, sir, have you ever called in to, you know, let us know that it's not working right for you? We'll happily, you know, troubleshoot it, make sure that your services work as, you know, advertised. Well, no, I've never done that. Okay, well, if we don't know that it's broke, we can't fix it. That's part of it too, buddy. But you know that they're entirely just saying that because they, you know, want free service. Like, oh, well, if I complain and say it doesn't work right, they'll turn my stuff back on and fix it. Not quite. Not quite that either, you know? But also, you have to pay your bill. Exactly. And I'm not like making that up. Like, that is legit something somebody said to me. Like, sir, well, you haven't paid your bill. That's why your services are turned off. I have money. How dare you call me poor? I didn't say that, sir. I just said you need to pay your bill. I want to speak to your man. But that is legit what happened. All right. Passing you along. You said the magic words. I'm done. Deuces. Yeah, that. But yeah, I thought that one was just of like all the things to like give me a chuckle. Are you calling me poor? No, not calling you poor, sir. But I do think it's funny you're upset that you haven't paid your bill. Do find that hilarious. All right. So we've got that. All right, we need to do bone for the bones. Then we've got the gray, the wrappings. We're going to do like a darker gray for the skin. Darken that up. I can't imagine what my phone calls are going to turn into because I go through our troubleshoot training the second week of September, second and third week of September. That's happening. All right, so we've got bone for that. So before we get too much further, I do want to put like the wash on the outfit to see if I like it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go back in and do like a different color. So I'm gonna hit it up with this nun oil shade and see if I like it. Are Gnolls furry or naked? So he has like fur down his like neck here. Like the rest of his body is kind of like a skin almost. Like you kind of see. I think we used like that weird blue. Another one that we did. I'm doing this very heavy-handed. I really want it to darken up. What's nice is there's so much grooves in this area that'll really like sit. Really make it kind of look dirty and grimy and we'll let that dry. Yep. That do its thing. And then let's see here. I did say I had spray that I wanted to do for the wrapping. Right. That applied. This is a speed paint called Grave Lord Gray. Like a piece of the wash is getting soiled, which feels very Gnollish. Yes. Which is the idea. Like we're gonna do this color and then we're gonna hit it with a wash, and I think it's gonna look kind of how we're picturing in our brain. A little too much right here. They're not clean and bathed werewolves exactly. They're grimy. All right, I'm liking how that's turning out. Do the You might want to, etc., etc., etc. Oh, cranky. Right? Exactly. Right. That one. The other one. All right, there we go. For the wraps there. Speaking of monsters, have you seen Alien Romulus? I watched it last night. We went and watched that at our Alamo, which I absolutely love going to. Because they, for the big movies, they'll sometimes do like a special menu for it. Which this is the big menu at the time. So they did a special menu for Deadpool Wolverine. They did like chimichangas. Fucking delicious. And then for this one, it was kind of like chili themed, which is crazy. But they had like face hugger fries, which were like essentially chili cheese fries. And then they did I forget what the burger was called, Xenomorph burger, I think it was. And it was like a chili burger. So it had like a beef patty and like chili on it. It sounded weird, but anytime there's a special menu, I will get one of the drinks and I will get one of the food items. Like I have to. It's a special menu. So I was like, I'm gonna do the burger. Like Britt didn't really feel like wanting to share the fries. I was like, I'm gonna do the burger, and then I got like acid blood for the drink, which was really freaking good. But the burger was surprisingly phenomenal. I think the first bite of it, it was essentially like a burger sloppy joe, and it was very very freaking. It was messy to eat, but it was so good. Alien themed food, hard pass. I mean, I looked at it hard too. But I was like, this all sounds like really good. I took a photo of it, of the menu. I'll post it up in Discord so you guys can kind of like see what it was. And it like sounds like off-putting, but it was freaking delicious. They knew what they were doing. I don't think I've had one bad thing off of like their special menus that I've done so far. So I'm hoping they do one for like Beetlejuice. Just like my next one, I'm very excited to go. Like try and like all some of these like heavier, cooled ones. Certain. Sometimes you gotta help it along in certain spots. Excellent. Excelente. But no, it was delicious. Here, let me post the menu up in the Discord. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I did the Zeno Burger and the Acid Blood. I almost got like the collector pin set, and then I decided against it, but he had thoughts on the ending. Yeah, like I'm gonna write something unhinged about this thoughts, or I didn't like it thoughts. Very different thought processes. We were all sitting there just like the looks on our faces. The looks on our faces, we were like, excuse me, what? All right, this doesn't seem like it's going to be a big difference, but it's darker. That's what I want. On the darker side. Then I think I might hit it with like the blue wash. In stages for this, I think. Mm-hmm. So you're like, Wigs, you're just painting gray over gray. Like, it's just a little bit darker. That I want the skin to be. It's gonna be a minute before you can like really tell the contrast of it, but bear with me. Let me cook. Like the movie had a stroke 100 minutes in. It was certainly something. But it was certainly a ride. I really enjoyed it. Britt and I were joking like that's one hell of a way to start off our spoopy season. But Aliens always had the opportunity to be very grotesque. And they just took advantage of it in this instance. They're like, all right, you know what? We can do that. We're going to do that. And boy, did they. But it did like set up a sense of like, well, what's next, you know? Do they keep on keeping on? Who knows? We were supposed to acclimate, not just dive right into spoopy. Could be watching Disney movies all day to cleanse my palate. Fair. Will not stop you. You thought it was a pretty limp alien movie? I don't know. I enjoyed it. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion, their own different experience with it. You can absolutely tell a spot that I missed there. But also, like, Kit's like a huge Alien fan, so depending on like the expectations that you go in to the movie with would influence, I imagine, your experience. I didn't go in with high expectations. I was like, all right, let's see. We'll watch some people get absolutely murdered by some alien beasts. And from everything that I saw from the trailer, I was like, this is gonna be very face hugger focused. Like they're going for the shock of the face hugger stuff, and that I was not wrong about. Been microdosing on Xeno since we were 15. Yes. Yeah, not a whole lot of Xeno in this one. In the grand scheme of things, you know. But I still think it played out very well. Also, another excellent example of why AI is bad. Like, oh, AI will be so helpful. Eh. But will it? Let's be real here, guys. Will it actually, though? Yeah, I will kill us all. Yes. Also, you know, fuck the company too in that movie. Kind of like necklace on the before. Think that we put on your neck, dude. All right, feel like I got all the body bits there. There's a blue that I want. Blue. Curious if it's gonna show up the way I want it to. Let's see. Let's see if it does. Oh no. All right, yeah, that's gonna give it the coloring I want. There we go. Perfect. Now we're hitting it with the speed paint runic blue. I like to do for like skin tones for these type of creatures and stuff. You hit it with the darker gray, and then you hit it with this, and it gives it like a bluish tone. Really helps it. Really helps it pop. There's some deep recesses in the thighs here, so I'm gonna be a little heavy-handed with it. To really make sure that blue's in the crevices here. Done the thighs, the feet. So let's do the arms here. That will have to be where we call it. So we'll end up having a Sunday where we end up like finishing off certain ones. But we made some great progress on this one, but it's not quite done. We'll still have his little weapon here and final finishing details as well as the base. Things like that. So not quite done with them, still some work to be had, but we did a great job. It'll be nice to see, like, when we come back to it, how it's cured over the time. Touch up his fur here. So that'll be fun. What happens sometimes. Have to get his little face done. So yeah, so still some work to be had. Back here. All right, so it's a little zoom in of him for how he's looking so far. So we'll let him dry, we'll let him cure, and then we'll come back in, touch up his hair a little bit. We'll finish up his face, his little nails there, the weapon, and the base. So we'll let him kind of finish up there. We might do like a highlight or something. Just kind of make it pop a little bit more. But yeah, he's coming along. I think that's a pretty good start for him. Looking a little grimy, a little nitty gritty, but he is a gnoll, so that makes sense. But yeah, there we go, guys. I'd say he's about like 70% done. Depending what else we do to him. But there we go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the chill paint stream. This is something we're gonna be doing on Sundays. We were doing it in the evening times, we're gonna do it in the morning. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We did go over a little over. But if we shoot for 10 a.m., I have a little buffer time for us to finish up whatever current spot that we're on. So it'll kind of be gonna be like that. I will get this paint video up on YouTube for you guys here shortly, so you guys, if you missed the first part of it, can go back and watch and see how we got it all started, what our starting point was, and where we went, and our thoughts and stuff like that. So if that is of interest to you, they're there on the YouTube. I'm also gonna be doing a game called Tavern Master. It's a very chill. You design out and run a tavern. I've checked out the sandbox version of it. Essentially, it's infinite money, and then you just kind of do it and put it together. I don't necessarily think I want to do that. I kind of want to show you guys the gameplay of it, which is where you have to raise your money management, stuff like that. So, but that's going to be exclusive for YouTube. So I'm going to play that kind of in like my in-between times, you know, here and there, and just put those VODs up on YouTube, guys. So if you guys want to check out that game, it's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it. I've put some hours into it, and it has some really nice background music to it. So it's something you can just throw on in the background and listen to the sounds of a busy running tavern that occasionally catches on fire. So there's that. So yeah, but there you guys go. A good start to our Gnoll. We'll pick this back up next time. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We're going to raid over. Radar is doing some Ashka, so that's what we're gonna raid. And then I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Have a great one and a good start to your week. I'll see you guys Wednesday night for some Lethal Company with the guys.